I'm Markeia. Want to hear something scary?
The Fangs of Vengeance. There is no bond stronger than love. Those that are in love move heaven and earth to be together. And if you stand in the way of that love, then they will show no remorse in moving you either. Arjun, a young Indian man, was tilling his father's crops when a large cobra surprised him in the field. Instinctively, he drove his rake into the snake and killed it instantly. He immediately regretted killing the reptile, but had to finish his work before what the weather reports were saying would be the worst storm of the year. Once the storm hit, everyone in the town of Kimsa sheltered in their homes, including Arjun and his father. Thunder cracked over and over as an unending stream of lightning bolts danced across the sky. Arjun peered out the window and through the heavy sheets of rain, saw a young woman wandering the street in front of his house. The wind pushed her about until she fell to the ground, and Arjun sprang to his feet and ran outside. He lifted the woman out of the puddles and offered his home as protection until the storm passed. The woman was so grateful for the help. She explained that she had missed her bus and thought she could make her way home before the storm hit. Arjun lit the fire while his father went to make hot tea. Finally, getting a good look at her, Arjun was mesmerized by her beauty. "I'm Fatima," she said as her deep brown eyes pierced his soul. The house shook with each boom of thunder, and the lights flickered as the wind picked up speed outside and shook the power lines. Arjun and Fatima lit candles while his father barred the doors and windows. The storm was expected to rage for hours, and there would be much destruction to contend with afterwards. Arjun just hoped their house would survive the night. Fatima suggested they play 20 questions to get to know one another. Soon, Fatima learned that Arjun had been working on the farm since he was 9, and Arjun learned that Fatima worked in town and had recently lost her husband. During dinner, Arjun's father went over the young man's chores, and that's when Arjun remembered the snake. Filling his father in on the guilt he felt made the man chuckle. "That snake would have ruined the crops. You did the right thing. Let's just hope it wasn't an Ichadhari Nagin," his father joked. His father explained that if a snake lived for 100 years without doing harm, it became sacred and was granted the power to transform into whatever it wanted. The snake Arjun saw looked like a cobra, and his father asked if he had seen its mate. Arjun shook his head. He hadn't. "Then you're fine, because if there's a mate, they are not to be separated. And if one of them is killed, the other will seek revenge," his father jokingly hissed at Arjun, and then began cleaning up the plates. Even though he knew his father was teasing him, he still felt worried. Fatima then put her hand on Arjun's. "It was only folklore," she said. Arjun relaxed and focused on the fondness he began to feel for his guest. But slowly, Fatima's gentle embrace grew tighter. At first, this made Arjun smile, but as she continued to squeeze, Arjun's fear returned. Her nails dug into his skin, and his bones began to creak. Arjun screamed in pain. Arjun's father ran into the room just as Fatima began to transform. Her eyes turned yellow, and her skin separated into scales as it turned a shiny black. The woman's hair fused together into a hooded shape, and finally, the hand squeezing Arjun's hand tighter and tighter became her tail. She writhed before them. Her transformation back into a giant cobra was now complete.
"You killed my husband, and now you and your family will pay,"
she hissed. Her head then snapped forward like lightning and bit into Arjun. Her fangs sunk into him, but released only a small amount of venom, just enough to render him immobile. Arjun watched helplessly as the giant cobra whipped her tail around his father's legs and pulled the man hard to the floor. The cobra made a pleased hiss as she slowly dragged Arjun's begging and screaming father across the floor towards her fearsome maw. Her cobra head rose above Arjun's father and his eyes widened. Her first strike was to his jugular, ripping flesh and veins apart. Arjun's father gasped for sounds he could no longer make as she swallowed his windpipe. She then struck his stomach, ripping his organs, sending them flying through the house. And finally, while Arjun watched his father struggle with consciousness, Fatima punctured the patriarch's eyes with her fangs and released her poison into his brain. Tears streamed down Arjun's paralyzed face. Soon, the poison would wear off, and he would be left there alone with his dead father and a lifetime of guilt. The Ichhad Hari Nagin slithered from the farmhouse and found her way to her mate. She coiled up next to its lifeless body and looked into its dead eyes again, where she then saw the image of its killer, Arjun, slowly fade away. The cobra, Fatima, looked to the raging heavens above her and said,
I'm ready.
Her serpentine gods heard her plea, and a bolt of lightning surged through the sky and struck her down. She took her last earthly breath, joining her mate in the afterlife, where the two lovers could be together forever. Murder, secrets to be uncovered, mysterious objects to be found. I could be talking about our show Something Scary, but I'm actually talking about the hidden object murder mystery game from Wooga, June's Journey. Set in the 1920s, it's a vintage-licious adventure. A free-to-download mobile game where you play as June, an amateur detective investigating the murder of her sister. I really enjoy June's Journey. It scratches my true crime itch as I search for clues while unveiling the murder mystery. Plus, I'm a big fan of hidden object games. It's easy to replay levels for points, and I get a kick out of finding all the objects even quicker the second time around. Join over 30 million fans across the globe and awaken your inner detective with June's Journey. Search for hidden objects and collect clues to solve the mystery. Endless hours of fun with thousands of intricate scenes and new chapters every week. Download June's Journey for free by clicking the link below in the description. June's Journey is available on Android and iOS mobile devices, as well as on PC through Facebook Games. I don't know about you, but I'm so ready to get back into the gym. It's been so long, I'm starting to miss the little things. Like, do you know what I would give to be waiting my turn for the aerobic steppers right now? Or to hear my trainer shout at me to get another rep in? Vaccination is the most effective way to help prevent COVID-19 and get back to the good times. Find a COVID-19 vaccine location near you at vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. My face treats being super oily like it's a job, and the work hours are 24/7. Inconvenient? Yes. Embarrassing? Always. We've all had struggles with our skin, and that's why we're excited to partner with our sponsor, Apostrophe. Apostrophe, a prescription skincare company, treats acne, and they can also help you hit your other skincare goals like reducing redness, wrinkles, and even dark spots. I enjoyed the quick and easy service experience with Apostrophe. I gave my skin history to a real dermatologist, and it's nice to know that my plan was tailored for me. No pharmacy lines and no appointments necessary. We have a special deal for our audience. Save $15 off your first visit with a board-certified dermatologist at apostrophe.com/scary when you use our code SCARY. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/scary and click Begin Visit. Then use our code SCARY at sign up and you'll get $15 off your dermatology visit. That's apostrophe.com/scary and use that code SCARY to get your dermatology visit and save $15. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring the podcast. If you'd like to submit a story, send me an email at somethingscary@snarled.com. Like and share the video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications. And if you dare, follow me on social media. Until next time, my dark darlings, sweet dreams.